Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of what I'll just refer to, I guess, as the Black Mask wave of new releases for the Batman miniature game that were meant to release just at the crossover from May to June. It took them a month to actually start shipping these out, so they didn't arrive until the middle of July. And that's a little annoying because part of the reason they gave for no longer including stat cards, which presumably these do not have, but we'll see as we open them, was so that they could get releases out on time and quicker and whatnot. But that's obviously not true. Also, with them not having stat cards, again, presumably I haven't opened any of them yet, there'll be less to talk about in general, but what I can talk about instead of the stat cards is I've used these new models digitally a few times, so I can at least talk about some experiences with how I've found them. Some initial impressions of specifically Black Mask, a little bit of his gang, which is in the Pain and Money box here, a lot of Zsasz, Victor Zsasz is in here, and I think I've used one of these two. And along with these releases, the Cesar Romero 1960s Batman Joker was included, and also Eraser, not to be confused with Eraserhead, which is the pretentious David Lynch film, or the teacher from My Hero Academia, depending on what age you are. But anyway, let's get started. So I think we'll start with the man himself, and then we'll go to the Pain and Money box, and then handle kind of like the tertiary stuff after that. It's very cool art on the Pain and Money box, incidentally. So this is Black Mask. He is a new organised crime leader. He did have a first edition mini based on the Arkham video games. This is his new one, and despite him lugging around an interrogation chair and table and tools, he is not an Intel support character. He is actually present on the board. And there is a smaller base option where it's just the table for some reason. So let us open it. So I've used this Black Mask a couple of times. I really like him. He's very deadly with his guns. I'm not so sure about his close combat abilities. He has an upgrade you can get for him. I think it's just called Psychotic, or maybe Psychotic Drugs. It's like 50 funding. It gives him the ability to use Protect Me. That is invaluable for him to have. Alright, well, again, as expected, no cards, so there won't be much to talk about here. But I do find him quite an effective... He's okay tanky, in terms of tankiness, rather. The big base option, little base option. The man himself, plus the little base street. Let's see how close we can get in here with this without me blocking too much of a light. It's a neat pose for him. If you wanted him just on the smaller base without the table, I can see that as being totally fine, because there's just space. Like, yeah, there's a little dent there for the table. You could fill that or just ignore it. You could just have him standing. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to model him. It feels like when you get a leader like this with a big base, it feels like a bit of a waste not to make use of it. But at the same time, it's silly that he's dragging around an interrogation like a dentist chair on the battlefield. So this is the big base, so the dentist chair would be there. His feet are there, so that would mean it would face this way. Yeah. So like that. Table there, chair there, him there. It's a little warped, but not too bad. I'm not really keen on the organised crime deck with what I've seen so far, so I'm not sure which leader best fits. I think just taking a cheap and cheerful one and just drowning the table in henchmen is maybe the only way to make them work. So this is his table. So you've got the top, I guess that's the side. Oh no, there's a lower shelf, that's where it is. And then the table legs themselves as well. And then the chair in 4 bits as well. Pretty simple. Again, oh, there's a lot of cleanup to do on that. Good grief. Again, simple enough. If you want him on the small base, I don't see any reason why you have to have the table. You could just have him standing. It makes it a bit weird that he's wearing surgical gloves, I suppose, if he's just standing with the table, but you could paint them black, make them look like leather gloves. I'm not sure. There is a reason to put them on the big base, of course, because you measure your Inspire range on base size, so if you model them on the bigger base size, you get a larger Inspire radius, technically. But that's micromanaging to a degree I don't particularly care about in general, honestly. But, other than a lot of cleanup as per, all the sprue looks to me like it's there, so that's a plus point, as I hit the camera. They're still using the old packaging though, where there's space for cards, they just aren't printing them. So I will also put out, again, another plea. If you are someone who is doing good quality prints of all the stuff they're not producing cards for, please let me know. Haven't been able to field the year 1 models yet because they don't have cards. My printer is broken, so I can't print them off. and the app isn't available for iOS despite them saying it would be, and even if it was, you still can't track a game on it yet. So what are you supposed to do? So Pain and Money. Again, very cool box. Organised crime, I can't even remember if I specified that these are all for organised crime, so you can mix and match them, they're not specific to Black Mask. So you're getting that box apparently, so 350 rep. Obviously you're not getting Black Mask, but it comes with 2 potential leaders and also a free agent, Zaz, in the same way that the Two-Face box came with Hush. I've only used most of these henchmen and the rocket launcher lady once. Once isn't really enough to have any kind of concrete thoughts. I accidentally got her killed turn 1, so I couldn't really see how she is. Got a lot to say about Zaz though. He is fantastic against very specific types of crew, and that's any crew that relies on lots of henchmen. He is terrifying. But, oop, has I ripped the box slightly? If you're taking him against like Bat Family, Teen Titans, I don't know, anybody who doesn't rely on a lot of henchmen, he's worthless. So this is a lot of unorganized sprue. Look at that. It's very hard to make heads or tails of it, honestly. So the small bases are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just say that got knocked in transit. Medium base for the lady with the rocket launcher, whose name I can't remember, and then Fright is the one in the black dress there at the back to the left of the rocket launcher lady. So there's another base for that, and then one of these big bases will be Zaz's. So I want to see Zaz. This is rocket launcher lady's sprue. Actually, no, it's not. I think it's her leg, because she's the only one. Oh no, it's the sniper. The sniper's got his leg up on a bit of rock there. Is this Zaz? No, this is Fright. So presumably this is Fright's base with a skull on it, some chain. It matches the same themes as Black Mask's. And then we have, this is the other lady because that's a rocket launcher. A lot of resin to clean up here. One of these will be her base. Is this hers? No, I think that's Zaz's. We'll look at his in a second. That's hers because it's covered with rockets. Not as nice looking. Not sure if it's meant to look like that. We have 2 of the henchmen in desperate need of cleanup with a knife. And this is the one that's holding... I'm actually not sure. Oh, he's like cocking a pistol. That's what it is. Although, where the pistol is, I don't know. 3 potential henchmen heads. I'm not sure is in focus or not. Hand wielding some bolt cutters, and then the one who's using a phone. I remember using him. He's pretty funny. So yeah, I think this is Zaz's base because he's posed JCPD cop equipment around himself. And again, you don't need to model him on this if you don't want to. But where is the man himself? Where is he? Is this him? Yeah, there he is. Don't know where his arms are, but so far we have found the body of Zaz. And as I say, if you know you're going against henchmen heavy lists, he is an absolute beast. I've used him twice, had him used against me once, and every time he's done really well. Another one of the henchmen there. Which one is this? He's the one who's ready for like a brawl with knuckle dusters, I think. And this is the one with the Vega type claw from Street Fighter. Again, a lot of cleanup required on these. Props for the rocket launcher lady's base. Yep, ammo box and missile box. And then this mess here is the last bit, which is lots of... Oh, that's the rest of Zaz. I'm not sure what's meant to be on this bit. Hopefully it's still there. I presume it's a bit of the wall. No, actually that looks like all the wall that's visible, because there's the wall, there's one hand, there's the other hand. What was connected to there? Because it looks like something broke off. Let's see. Sniper rifle, sledgehammer, hand. That's the hand cocking the pistol there. Oh, that might be what fell off of. It's the body of the rocket launcher lady. She's in a lot of bits. Another assortment of hands. Claws, fists. That's basically it. This is the body of the one who's just swung the sledgehammer. And then Fright, right at the bottom here. Ooh. Sand's head, which I presume is here somewhere. But that's the rest of her body there. Yeah, and she's designed to slot into the base. You can't just put it into the normal, like the slit here. Okay, well, again, unorganized, eclectically thrown together, as you might say. Ridiculous amount of cleanup required, but it looks like at a cursory glance everything, besides stat cards, is as it should be. But again, as always with these unboxings, if I later discover anything is wrong, I'll put it in a pinned comment. So let's take a look at the 3 wild cards. Alright, so we have 2 reinforcements for Black Mask's crew. She's called the Fixer. Don't remember what he's called, but he's got an assault rifle which makes him useful. And then we've got the 2 that aren't directly associated. Well, I guess you could say Eraser is associated with organised crime, but not specifically Black Mask as far as I'm aware. So I keep forgetting to mention it as well, but while I open this here to take a look at the sprue, because again I don't think there's any cards. No, there is not. You know, this channel that you're watching this on, trying to grow it quietly, but what I actually do for a living is video game Twitch channels, or a Twitch channel I should say. But to the detriment of my viewers, every Friday we usually end up playing Tabletop Simulator, and it's usually Batman. So if you want to see some digital Batman, I don't put the VODs of it anywhere because, you know, not really super watchable. But if you're absolutely desperate to see a live game, check out my streams on Friday nights. Although do keep in mind, this channel you're watching this on is kept family friendly, so you can watch it with your kids, etc. Twitch streams not so much, there's bad language and innuendo. So please keep that in mind. And there is the Fixer. At least the sprue is kept together for both those characters. Not too much cleanup. And the new resin, of course, as well. So that's simple. So we have those. Now, the silliest miniature. Well, I don't know, he does have an eraser for a head. Cesar Romero Joker from a very famous episode of the Adam West Batman where they have a surfing competition and he does this exact pose. It is a very faithful recreation. On the table, I think he's like 60 reps, so he's like dirt cheap. He's not very good, but he is dirt cheap. So if you wanted a cheap and cheerful silly Joker, Cesar Romero is the man for you. Now this is bagged, which is interesting. How come Cesar Romero gets a bag? Well, I don't really need to open it because we can see here we've obviously got the surfboard with the waves. We have his body, and then on the rest of the sprue. Hang on a second, I need to look at this. Okay, it looked like a skull, but his head's on the sprue backwards. If I show you his head from that side, doesn't that look like a skull? But it's because his face is actually on this side. It's on the mold backwards. So it looks like everything there is as intended. And as I say, it's not like a hyper competitive Joker. You'd be probably just wanting the Back to Gotham one if you want the best Joker available currently. But I like Cesar Romero. He was great. And this will go nicely into a match against Adam West and Burt Ward. Now finally, Eraser, who has Batman and Robin's legs having been erased. I don't remember much about this guy. He has a poorly named rule, which is a misquote from him, because I remember looking it up with a friend. But unfortunately I don't remember the specifics now. It's a reference to the fact that he takes 20% before tax, but the card is written slightly wrong. In terms of like the actual attributed quote, I mean. So that's the base he's on. It looks like it's a crosswalk section, almost. And you'd have to fill in these holes if you didn't want to model him with Batman and Robin's feet. The man himself is only missing a hand. And he does indeed have an eraser for a head. And then on this base, here's the Batman and Robin feet and his 2 hands as well. This is another release along with all the other like goofy henchmen free agents they've been doing. They're deliberately rarer characters that are a bit silly. And you can ignore them if you don't want to get them because you find them too silly. I mean, look at him. His suit is the colour of a pencil and he's got an eraser for a head. What do you expect? But he feels like he might be quite fun. I tried running a meme list online actually with Black Mask, and just like every free agent and henchman that's special, like Kite Man, etc., did not go well, but it is a silly list. So anyway, that was the May / sorta June releases. for Batman the miniature game. There are others coming. The new Penguin releases, some stuff for the DC miniature game, which I might probably just end up unboxing in the same box, in the same video rather, once they release. But that was a little look at things to come. Obviously, we'll be starting to work on these to get them on the table as soon as possible. And as I say, if you want to see a digital game of Batman, check out my Twitch stream, Flix Gaming Stuff, every Friday night. And that's usually when we do the nerd stuff, when barely anyone's around, so that nobody catches us. And we'll see you in the future for some more Batman. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta for now.